Happy New Year. This Day Weather podcast is being brought to you by Grant Lawson of the law firm for truck safety. After a catastrophic truck crash, trust Grant Lawson of the law firm for truck safety, board certified, nationally recognized with millions recovered, and relentless advocacy for your justice. Visit truckaccidents.com today. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. A very abbreviated podcast for you on this New Year's Day. These are the highlights. First of all, this Pacific storm is going to come through in two pieces over the course of today through the weekend, and we're going to see more West Coast rain, snow. It's going to be another big producer of significant precipitation for California. Now, some of this precipitation will spread rain and snow showers in and along and west of the Continental Divide and into the mountains of the West here over the next 72 hours. But temperatures are still going to be well above average as mild Pacific air will dominate. No Canadian air coming on in of any consequence through the weekend, although it will be a little bit cooler. Now, as we've been discussing over the last several days, we continue to see signs of the blocking pattern out in the Pacific and to some extent the Atlantic showing signs of some changes next week, which could lead to other changes down the road from the current blocking pattern that's been so persistent. So for the new year, as we get a little bit further into it, we may finally see a bit of a break in the weather pattern. The normal satellite photos I show you, not working this morning. I guess they're a little hungover from last night. So we've got a little bit of a blurry satellite photos to show you this morning. But you can see the enhanced cloudiness coming in along that west coast storm system sliding into the region. And you can see along here on the radar that we've got showers moving into California. You can see the smattering of greens and pinks there of the precipitation spreading into the Great Basin states. There you can see across parts of the northern plains and then into New England. It's going to be a wintry pattern of lake effect snows and much colder weather in the northeastern part of the United States. When you look at the National Weather Service advisories, you see lots of blue and purple here across the west. These are winter weather advisories for the mountains of the west. Whether here it's in Colorado, Utah, parts of Wyoming, the Pacific Northwest, winter storm watches and warnings, and winter weather advisories for the Sierra Nevada, flood watches in effect for parts of southern and northern areas of California with that storm system. Then you can see up here in New England and in the Northeast, we've got a wintry mix that'll be causing some travel concerns on this New Year's Day there. Now, when we take a look at where we're going to be, starting today, we're still looking at this big block, giant block here near Greenland, and a very large polar vortex centered over eastern Canada. So this will continue to pump very cold air into the northeastern United States and a lot of wintry weather. But this little guy right here is a very moist upper level low coming through central California today that will translate east right like this. So it's not going to bring in Canadian air. It's Pacific moisture, but it's deep moisture. The moisture actually with this system is quite impressive. So we'll have this first system come along the coast. This next one, like last week, slide along the coast instead of coming inland because of our blocks right here in the oceans. But the moisture will be impressive as it heads east. This is by tomorrow. So you can see that low from central California today to tomorrow is in northeastern Colorado with a little bit of high pressure coming in behind it, then the main low just coming along the west coast. The blocks here continue to be very robust as we get to the end of the week. Now, by Sunday, we're going to start to see the pattern shift. We see a strong low come into the Aleutians, knocking down the Aleutians Ridge, the block there, and we start to see the vortex split a little bit with some deeper, colder air showing up in Alaska and the Northwest Territories. So this is a sign, as we get into next week, that we're going to see this area of low pressure here want to be able to shift a little bit more to the east. This will spread precipitation between now and Sunday, looking like this. Long and west of the divide, very impressive here. East of the divide, we continue to have just a few showers at the very, very most. More significant rains for California and heavy mountain snows, and the snows will be very impressive again. Over the course of the next 3 to 4 days, we're going to see 2 to 4 feet of snow in the high Sierra Nevada. Some pretty decent snows. Again, snow levels are going to be high, but if traveling along sections of Interstate 80 as we get into tonight, Friday, and into early Saturday, You're going to want to watch for some slick roads and highways, the higher elevations of I-70 as well, and of course, all of the mountain passes. Then we shift into next week. We still see that Aleutians low now coming instead of Aleutians high. So we've got a big interruption in the block here. The Greenland block is shifting more eastward towards the more North Atlantic, more towards Iceland, more towards Northern Europe into those areas. So, in theory, we're going to see more in the way of energy here in British Columbia instead of coming down the coast like it's been doing, heading more this way as we get towards the middle and the end of next week. And that's when we might start to see the weather patterns shift a bit, get colder, and a bit more like, well, as it should be, for early January. We'll just have to wait and see, but our confidence is getting a little bit bigger with these blocks having a little bit of at least an interruption to them as we get into next week's weather, making things more busy. Don't forget our regional travel forecast. We'll update that throughout the week and days ahead as winter weather will be getting more active. Thanks for watching, listening. Have a happy new year. We'll see you tomorrow.